In a world where premium cat fountains cost more than human coffee makers, one species continues to baffle scientists and pet owners alike. You spent $50 on a designer cat fountain, equipped with triple filtration and gentle flow control. Your cat takes one look before heading straight to the toilet, because apparently, fine dining means something entirely different in feline culture. Welcome to Pampered Cats, where luxury means nothing, and hydration is a mystery, where every liquid source is a potential tasting opportunity, except their actual water bowl. Let's meet the Sink Sommelier, that cat who treats your bathroom faucet like a 5-star water bar. Watch as they perfect their drinking technique, paw delicately extended to catch drops, whiskers forward to assess water quality, timing impeccable, usually just as you're trying to get ready for work. The glass tipper specializes in sampling beverages that aren't theirs. Notice their technique, waiting until you're fully engrossed in something else before approaching your water glass with surgical precision. Their ability to calculate the exact force needed to spill water across your important documents while maintaining eye contact is truly remarkable. The Bathroom Basin Critic brings sophisticated taste to unconventional water sources. They've developed a particular appreciation for toilet water, ranking it significantly higher than the filtered spring water in their bowl. Watch as they perform their daily quality assessment, usually while you're trying to use the facilities yourself. Their rating system is complex and mysterious. Fresh, filtered water in a clean bowl? 0 stars. Day-old rainwater from a muddy flower pot? Michelin-worthy. How cats rate water sources are a puzzle even science refuses to solve. The Drip Detector possesses an uncanny ability to hear a single drop of water from anywhere in the house. They'll materialize instantly at the sound of a running tap, yet somehow remain conveniently deaf to their name being called. Their timing is impeccable, especially at 3 a.m. when the faucet beckons. The Puddle Perfectionist demonstrates remarkable dedication to finding alternative water sources. Watch how they ignore their freshwater bowl in favor of investigating that mysterious puddle in the garage. Their commitment to sampling questionable water sources while avoiding clean options is truly an art form. The evaluation process is fascinating. Each potential water source must meet their exacting standards that somehow always exclude their actual water bowl. A drop of water on the shower floor, gourmet dining, fresh filtered water in a clean bowl, clearly suspicious. The Sink Strategist has mastered the art of demanding running water. They've learned that persistent meowing, combined with dramatic staring, will eventually convince their human to become a personal water fountain operator. Their patience is infinite. They'll wait by the sink for hours, occasionally throwing meaningful glances your way. Notice their dedication to the craft. They understand that humans eventually need to use the bathroom, and that's when they'll strike with their most persuasive water requests. The timing is never coincidental. It's calculated for maximum inconvenience. The dramatic decliner elevates water bowl rejection to performance art. Watch their elaborate routine when presented with fresh water. First, the approach, slow and deliberate. Then, the careful inspection, whiskers twitching with barely contained disdain. Finally, the theatrical refusal, a combination of backing away slowly, throwing you a deeply offended look, and somehow communicating with just their eyes that you've personally insulted their ancestors. Their timing is impeccable. They'll wait until you've just cleaned and filled their bowl with filtered spring water, perhaps even adding ice cubes on a hot day. Then, with the precision of a Shakespearean actor, they'll sniff once, pause for dramatic effect, and turn to drink from the muddy garden pot instead. The look they give you clearly says, "You call this a beverage? I expected better from my servant." Watch as they perfect their craft, each rejection more theatrical than the last. The same cat who happily drinks from a rain-filled shoe will treat their clean water bowl like it contains liquid betrayal. Their commitment to the performance never wavers, even when dying of thirst. They'd rather dehydrate with dignity than drink from an approved source. The Water Bowl Philosopher approaches their hydration options with deep intellectual suspicion. Watch as they conduct their investigation. First, a careful sniff of their expensive fountain, followed by a contemplative paw dip in the flowing water. Their expression suggests they're not just evaluating water, they're questioning the very nature of liquid refreshment itself. Their logic is beautifully complex, A dripping faucet is fascinating, but a fountain designed specifically for cats? Clearly suspicious, and that's exactly the point. This is not hesitation, it's a calculated test of human patience. How long will you stand there waiting? How much money will you waste on hydration stations? Only the most dedicated owners will ever earn their cat's reluctant sip. Their philosophical stance is clear. If humans approve of a water source, it must be questioned. Watch their methodical assessment process, approaching the bowl with scholarly interest, conducting a thorough investigation, then delivering their final verdict, usually with a look that suggests they've discovered a fundamental flaw in the universe. The same cat who drinks from puddles will treat their filtered water like it's failed a rigorous peer review process. The Synchronized Sipper times their water needs perfectly with human activities. About to take an important phone call? Time for a noisy drinking session. Finally sat down to eat. The perfect moment to demand fresh tap water. Their ability to maximize inconvenience is truly an art form. It's time to play Rate Your Water Connoisseur. Let's see how many of these scenarios hit home. Has your cat ever given you the "I'd rather die of thirst" look when presented with fresh, filtered water? Drop a droplet emoji in the comments. How many different water bowls are currently collecting dust in your home? Share your number. Bonus points if you've tried more than 3 different fountains. What's the weirdest place your hydration expert has chosen to drink from? We've heard everything from fish tanks to flower vases, but we know your cat can top that. The defeated sigh when they ignore a new fountain. The 3 a.m. surrender to sink demands. The "why do I even try" shoulder shrug. Share your stories below. Because nothing brings cat parents together like comparing notes on our water critic's most ridiculous choices. The temperature specialist has developed very specific preferences about water temperature. Room temperature water in their bowl? Unacceptable. Ice-cold water in your glass? Now that's worth investigating. Their sensitivity to water temperature somehow only applies to water they're not supposed to drink. The testing process is methodical. First, they'll ignore their water bowl for hours. Then, the moment you pour yourself a fresh glass of water, they'll appear as if summoned by ancient magic, ready to conduct their temperature assessment, usually by knocking over your glass. The expedition leader treats every water discovery like a grand adventure. They'll lead you to the bathtub, the sink, or even the toilet, meowing detailed instructions about their hydration preferences. Their ability to make drinking water seem like an epic quest is unmatched. The science behind this behavior is fascinating. While cats' ancestors got most of their hydration from prey, our domestic critics have developed more sophisticated tastes. Their preference for running water might be instinctual. In nature, moving water is often safer than standing water, though this hardly explains their passion for toilet water. The social drinker. The social drinker insists that hydration is a group activity. They'll wait until you're in the bathroom to demand sink access, preferably while you're trying to brush your teeth. Their commitment to making water consumption a bonding experience is touching, if somewhat inconvenient. Watch as they perfect their timing. The moment you turn on any faucet, they materialize as if summoned by ancient water spirits, ready to transform your simple task into an impromptu water tasting event. After all this, you might be wondering, why? Why do cats insist on rejecting perfectly good water? Is there a method to this madness, or are they just messing with us? For answers, we turn to our leading expert in feline psychological warfare. According to leading experts in feline behavior, or rather, according to cats themselves, water rejection is actually a sophisticated form of psychological conditioning. Let's analyze this complex behavior. Notice how they wait until you've just filled the bowl with artisanal spring water before turning to drink from a muddy puddle. This isn't random. It's calculated emotional manipulation at its finest. The more expensive the water vessel, the more likely they are to ignore it completely. Our research suggests that cats derive particular satisfaction from watching their humans cycle through all 5 stages of water bowl grief. Denial, they'll drink from it eventually. Anger, I spent how much on this fountain? Bargaining, maybe if I put it next to the TV. Depression, why do I even try? And finally, acceptance. Fine, I'll turn on the sink. Again. In conclusion, your cat isn't just being picky. They're conducting an ongoing psychological study with you as the primary subject, and yes, they are definitely keeping score. And so, the eternal mystery continues. While humans invest in ever more elaborate hydration stations, cats remain committed to their own water-tasting agenda. Some say they're teaching us valuable lessons about thinking outside the bowl. Others suspect they're conducting a long-term psychological experiment on their humans. All we know for certain is that somewhere, right now, a cat is ignoring a $100 fountain in favor of a muddy puddle. Until then, this has been Pampered Cats, where we decode your luxury-loving feline's behavior, one mysterious trait at a time. Your cat's not being picky. They're a beverage critic with unrealistic, ever-changing standards. And according to our experts, you're not just failing their test, you never even had a chance. See you next time. Probably after your cat has finished their latest water tasting tour of your home's most inconvenient locations.